Display 6.4-inch 19.25:9 LCD, Full HD+, rear cameras 48MP Sony IMX586, f/1.8 lens, 78-degree angle 3D TOF, time of flight, sensor front camera 25MP in-screen camera processor Huawei Kirin 980 RAM 6GB/8GB storage 128GB/256GB battery 4,000 mAh, 4.5V/5A supercharging software Honor Magic UI, Android 9 Pie colors red, blue, black water resistance no IP rating. At this point you could be forgiven for having consigned the Honor View 10 to a distant corner of your memory. Although a perfectly solid high-end phone, it wasn't particularly exciting in any way. The View 20 is different, for a few reasons. First, a new all-screen display that does away with the need for a notch. Second, a genuinely interesting super high-res camera setup. And third, a design that injects some much-needed pizzazz. Honor View 20 smartphone was launched in December 2018. The phone comes with a 6.40-inch touchscreen display with a resolution of 1080 pixels by 2310 pixels. Honor View 20 is powered by octa-core processor and it comes with 6GB of RAM. The phone packs 128GB of internal storage that cannot be expanded. As far as the cameras are concerned, the Honor View 20 packs a 48-megapixel, f/1.8, primary camera on the rear and a 25-megapixel front shooter for selfies. Honor View 20 runs Android 9 and is powered by a 4000 mAh. Connectivity options include Wi-Fi, GPS, and Bluetooth. The Honor View 20 was announced for the Chinese market today, and will launch globally at an event in Paris on January 22nd. Earlier this month, I traveled to Hong Kong, Shenzhen, and Beijing, China to see the phone before its public unveiling, both for an early hands-on, and to find out what makes it tick. Before we go any further though, let's get the spec sheet out of the way. Like its predecessor, the View 20 is built upon some of the best Huawei hardware available at launch. Which means you are Mate 20 back at the Hong Kong pre-launch event. However, the story around this unique screen is about more than just the move to a camera hole instead of a traditional display notch. Honor's Beijing-based engineers told us its implementation of the display hole is distinct from Samsung's in the recently announced Galaxy A8s, similar to what's expected in the Galaxy S10. Honor's display hole is smaller, with a 4.5 mm diameter compared to Samsung's 6.7 mm. Honor's drilling method is also different in how that display hole is structured. The camera module sits directly under the light guide plate, LGP, with a technique known as pixel transitioning used to allow light to penetrate through without a hole in the liquid crystal layer. This approach means fewer layers need to be drilled through, which improves the strength of the whole assembly, making it less likely to break when dropped or manhandled. Photo performance is also improved with this method due to a reduction in light bleed. What's more, the glue dispersion tech used to affix the camera to the display means it should be possible to repair a broken screen without requiring a new front camera module, Honor's engineers told us. The position of the display hole is also no accident. Honor's design chief, David Yuan, told us that the company had done extensive research to figure out where users would prefer to see a hole in the display. By far the most unpopular option was in the middle, where it was most visible. Eventually, a hole in the top left corner was decided upon, because it interferes least with full-screen games in landscape orientation. Step closer to the all-screen smartphone of the future. The front face of the Honor View 20 takes us closer to the ideal design of an all-screen phone. There's a tiny chin down below, comparable to that of the OnePlus 6T or Honor Magic 2, and the headphone grill lives in a small cutout between the top bezel and the panel glass. Meanwhile, the ambient light sensor has been relocated up onto the top part of the outer metal frame to keep the front face as clear as possible. At a meeting in Shenzhen, David Yuan showed us several prototype designs at various stages of the design process. The earliest was a rather clunky design with a protruding visor-style camera bump and the V pattern etched into the surface glass itself. Then came some experimental camera module placements, and experiments with different laser-etched patterns before settling on the subtle V we see in the final design. The rear camera setup combines a 48-megapixel Sony IMX586 behind an f/1.8 lens with a unique secondary camera. Honor's new TOF, time of flight, sensor is dedicated to improving 3D object recognition. It combines a transmitter and receiver inside that secondary module to accurately triangulate the distance between the phone and an object in 3D space up to 1 meter away, but with an optimum distance of 30 to 40 centimeters combined with the power of the Kirin 980. This enables real-time scanning and animation of 3D objects, like the Toy Panda demo that Honor showed at its pre-launch event, while also opening up possibilities for augmented reality gaming. Its accuracy, Honor says, is close to that of Microsoft's Kinect camera kit. The View 20's tricked out with AI cooling, dual-band GPS and triple antenna Wi-Fi. It's tempting to see the View 20 as a trimmed-down Huawei Mate 20 Pro, just as the View 10 was for all intents and purposes a downgraded Mate 10 Pro. But that's not quite the case, and in a few areas Honor has built new hardware to give the View 20 an edge. A new liquid cooling system, ominously dubbed the 9 in a presentation to local press in Hong Kong, combines both hardware and software for improved thermal performance. An ultra-thin heat tube draws heat away from the SoC, camera, battery, and charging chip and into a multi-layered heat spreader made from a composite of materials. On the software and computation side, Honor's AI smart cooling can leverage the power of the Kirin 980 to predict overheating scenarios before they occur. By identifying when and why heat may be increasing, AI smart cooling can change the way the OS manages processes so the impact on important apps and tasks, and any perceived lag, are minimized. Honor also boasted of support for dual-frequency GPS, much like the Mate 20 Pro, which uses the same Kirin 980 processor. By using both L1 and L5 GPS codes, for example, instead of L1 alone, there's an up to 10x bandwidth increase, allowing for a significant improvement in accuracy 30 meters as opposed to 300 meters. The View 20 also employs a triple Wi-Fi antenna system, with a third antenna on the back of the device, to allow for better signal reception when the top and bottom of the chassis are covered, as they might be when playing a game. The jury's out on the Honor View 20's software, at least for the moment. The phone runs Honor's new Magic UI, which at present is basically Huawei's EMUI 9 with a fresh coat of paint, and as such is mostly identical to the software of the Mate 20 Pro. Honor says Magic UI's visuals are designed to appeal more to young people with a younger and simpler aesthetic, and in some respects it does look different, with flatter icons and brighter, lighter hues. Whatever you think of certain demographics needing their own UI, I'm not convinced a version of Android specifically for the kids is a good thing. But to be sure, further differentiation from the acquired taste that is Huawei's EMUI surely isn't a bad thing. Magic UI on the Chinese Honor V20 announced today may be somewhat different to what the rest of the world gets. It's also not clear how differentiated Magic UI in general will eventually become. Honor is keen for the new software to sprout features offering more than cosmetic differences compared to EMUI, but it's not clear how they intend to do this. Nor could reps provide a clear answer on whether Honor is effectively forking EMUI now, or whether Magic UI will always emerge as an offshoot with each future EMUI version.